Johan, how much of this week is just about keeping the intensity of the last 2 weeks going?
I know it's going to be massive. Obviously, like you said, we put ourselves in a good position after the last 2 weeks, but we also know that Bristol is a team that plays great rugby at the moment. They got a lot of confidence. They score a lot of tries. I think they're actually leading in a lot of stats in offloads and running meters and percentage of tries, and they score on an average 30 points a match at home. So our challenge is there. So for us, it's important to keep that same intensity, and that's why we focus on that this week. That we don't drop off in our intensity of our training, and we also just try to stick as much as we can to the normal routine and treat them as any other game.
And on that basis, is it a worry at all, the last 5 minutes against Saracens, or is that just something that you know why it happened? Because obviously you're going for the 4-try bonus point.
Yeah, it's a worry in the sense that we must learn that killer instinct, and if you got a team down on the floor, not to give them any hope. But obviously, so that was the disappointment, the fact that we gave 2 soft tries away. Although I think we as coaches knew the game as won, but we want to obviously, like I said, perform for the whole 80 minutes. It's something that we did address. I think it comes from the players as well. They know it's not good enough if you are on the bench and you come off the bench. You obviously want to use that opportunity to push for starting in the team, and for that you have to be accurate in what you're doing. So the players took responsibility. It wasn't a major focus point for us, but we can't obviously play like that for the whole 80 because again, like I said, Bristol is too good a side. They'll punish you.
And what do the last 2 results show you in terms of actually how good the team can believe that it can be?
Yeah, I don't want to get carried away. I think the fact that we've got 2 wins is a huge bonus for us and a plus, and must give you confidence, because those 2 sides has been the leading sides in this tournament for a long time. But we also have to not lie to ourselves. We know that they had some players out of their teams, and it's not just the quality of the players, it's the experience that they've lost, and that will also bring a different challenge. But then again, there's sides that will normally struggle against them regardless if they lose players, because just the quality of what they've got. So therefore it's still a good result for us, but we must just keep looking at ourselves and not almost think that we can now start almost taking shortcuts. We have to be honest with ourselves in areas that we can improve and keep improving, because the challenge is going to get tough. And starting on this weekend again, Bristol has just performed extremely well, especially at home.
And by contrast, compared to Exeter and Saracens, Bristol have far fewer players out away on Six Nations duty, don't they? So they're closer to full strength.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, they've got a very good squad, and they've got some X-factor players, and you have to, they've got all black players there that played at the highest of levels. So you have to, like I said, treat them as any side. But the reality is that, like you said, they've got continuity in their team, and bring a total different challenge than any other Premiership team probably.
That confidence to run it from anywhere, even though results have at times gone against them, that doesn't seem to have been lost at all this season, does it?
No, I think Pat is obviously similar to when my situation when you're first year, although he's been with the side already in his first season last season when they played in the Champions Cup. But the thing is they still obviously establish their philosophy and the style that they want to play, and as a coach you have to believe in what you want to do and what you want to achieve, and you can see they do that. They play, they back their skill, they back their ability, and they bring, like I said, a challenge for us that we have to face. But also we can't, we'll look at Bristol and we respect what they can do, but it's vital that we keep doing what we want to do, that we insert our style of play as well and be accurate in our set piece, etc.
And when Bristol are playing against you their way, how difficult is it to actually keep your style rather than try and fight fire with fire?
No, I think the players has learned valuable lessons in that losses that we've had, and also in the last 2 weeks with the victories, that some things, if we do it well, will work for us. And we have to have the ability, and that was a big, learning part for this group, and we'll constantly keep learning. We have to have the ability also to adjust and to change during the game, and I think the players have started doing that surely, slowly but surely. But the main thing is for us is to have to keep that patience and that faith that what we want to achieve will get there. Sometimes you want to do it in the 20th minute, and it takes 40 or 50 or 60 minutes before you actually see the reward. And if we can hang in there and keep doing what we want to do, hopefully we will get some momentum and some of our plays going.
Ben Morgan seems to be in a rich vein of form at the moment. How are you getting the best out of him? Because he's right up there, not just scoring tries, but the tackle stats, the carry stats as well. Is it just the run of games, or is it a little bit of leadership that you gave him, captaincy a couple of times earlier in the season? What's making a difference?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of factors. Obviously credit must first go to the player himself, because when you didn't have a season like last season like he had, I just came in and I didn't see the best of Ben, and he knows it. And there was obviously competition from the loose forwards that we had, and he had a bit of niggles, but he recognized that first, and he recognized that it's going to start with him by putting in the hard work. And I seen him come back in the preseason and train extremely hard, and I seen him physically change his body by becoming very fit, and I think he reaps the reward. So the credit to the player first, and then second of all, that was the challenge that was lied to him. There's going to be competition. You're either going to accept it or fight for it, and he took that up. And then, like you said, he's always been a quality player. He's always got a calmness around him, and he's a clever player, and he's got leadership abilities. That's why he's been the captain on a few occasions, and that all, I think, is obviously start making him believe that back into his ability and quality. And there's a lot of players and also staff members that must take credit, the nutritionists, the conditioners, the Timmy and Dinger, putting a lot of one-on-one work in with the players on stuff that they can improve. So it's a collective effort, but I'm just pleased for Ben that he's back to where I've seen him when I always watched England rugby, seen him playing at a high level, and hopefully it will continue for us.
And you talk about competition there. With so many players having come back fit in the last couple of weeks, how difficult is it now to pick teams?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a few areas, especially on the locks and back rowers, that it's very difficult. If you look at the team and you make to pick, and it boils down sometimes to very hard decisions. And I must be honest with you, it's never nice. That's probably the part that I hate the most is selection, and obviously to tell the players they're not involved. But then again, you rather want to be in that position and then positions where you're forced through injury that you can't select players. So it is a tough situation at the moment. There's still a few players that can return and make that selection even harder, but we're very fortunate that most of our players are back, and it makes my work a bit hard. But like I said, always said to the players, it's going to be a squad effort. It's not going to boil down to 15 or 23 players who's going to carry this forward. It's going to take the whole squad, because we need everybody. Somewhere I like to rotate, so somewhere you're going to play, and also the fact that the better pressure you get from your non-playing guys, hopefully the better the guys that start will play.
And anyone coming back into the mix this week? I'm thinking maybe Charlie Sharples, maybe one or two of the props.
Charlie is still a week or so off. Although he's back on the field, he just needs to get strength back in the hand that he had an operation. They feel he's not there yet. So at the moment it looks like he'll be available for Harlequins for next week, but not for this week. Other than that, we're fortunate that everybody that played on the weekend and even guys who didn't play is fully fit and ready to go.